Welcome to Exotic Drinks. I'm, of course, Dr. Kush, along with my barback Kyle. I'm not a real doctor, but I did spend almost 2 decades running some of LA's best bars. After years of teaching classes and training bartenders, I want to demystify the cocktail world for you. Let's try a few new things as I open up my bar to everybody. Belly up, chat, and let's have a drink. All right, the punch. We are still doing it. Welcome everybody to Dr. Kush's Exotic Drinks. I am, of course, Dr. Kush. We are in the middle of the summer of punch because obviously, for those of you that have not heard, I am speaking at Tiki Oasis this year in San Diego, all about punches. So we're trying to cover every type of punch. That way, if anybody, can I just tell you my fear? I'll tell you my fear. I'm sitting there. First of all, I forgot to wear clothes to this seminar. That's the first fear. Terrifying. How did I do it? How did I forget to wear clothes? I don't know how I forgot to wear clothes, but I'm not wearing clothes. Second, something horrible goes wrong. There's a fire. There's a fire ant infestation. Something horrible like that. Third fear, and the big one, really, somebody will ask me a question that I have no idea what I'm talking about. They will say, or even worse, they won't even ask me a question. They'll say, "Sir," they'll look at me with tears in their eyes, and they'll say, "Sir, you don't know what you're talking about." And that would freak me out. So we are covering all types of punches this summer. We are taking the summer as a study break to make punches. So that's what we are making a punch today. Earlier today, I got a phone call, text. I don't know anybody that phone calls anymore. I got a text from a friend of mine. She is having a party tomorrow. It's the 4th of July tomorrow. And she says, what's everybody bringing? I didn't answer because I knew what everybody wanted me to bring. I'm bringing a cocktail. And so we are making that cocktail live on the show. We're cramming everything. No wasted motions, anybody. No wasted moves. If you're going down to that side of the bar to drop off those limes, hey, why don't you pick up that bottle we need over here? No wasted moves. That's what we're doing today. So we're doing 2 things at once. We're making a cocktail that is called the Point Reyes Punch, created by a woman named Claire Sprouse out in New York. Seems awesome. Never made it before. All equal parts, and that's what I like in a punch. Did I do it? Speaking of no wasted moves, let me tell you about people that never waste their moves. Let me say hello over here to our good friend. Good evening. Shawnee Panabaker is here. Good to see Shawnee. Shawnee was in the, remember, we can watch the show if you want from the VIP access. It's right here. I don't think it's any different. But if you want to join early, watch me set up the bar, you can do that. What am I doing that for? No idea. Thought it sounded cool. Let me say hola to our friend Bootopia. Cheers to you. Bootopia making it 2 days in a row. We like to see Bootopia here. Always a pleasure when Bootopia is here. Winner of the 2023 Kushtucky Derby, we got DC Debbie Clark. Listen to her favorite, Lagrange. That is some ZZ Top stuff. Let me say hello to one of the only people allowed behind the bar. Is that right? Or allowed to stay after close? Listen, Keith is an important fella. Hello, Keith. Good to see you guys. Amy Beer is also here. Hello, Amy Beer. Cheers to you. Abry D. Hi to you all as well. Abry also allowed to do whatever Keith is allowed to do, whether that's stay after close or be behind the bar. I got to remember what those ones are. Not great at this. Everybody watch out. The moose is loose in the hoose. Moose. Cheers to you, Kyle Tender, letting us all know it is Wednesday. He is our official day keeper. He lets us know what day it is, always. Let's see what else we got here. We got Bonbon. Hello, Bonbon. Bonbon is here. Oh, lanterns have been off for a while. Let's turn those on. There we go. Well, it's just going to be broken the whole time, so don't worry about that one. Oh, did it turn on? Great, turned on. Thank you for the lantern warning. Hey, everyone, no hurricane here yet, says Richie Whiff. I guess Richie the Whiff might be wherever that tropical kerfuffle is. Hopefully you're doing all right, buddy. Drink it up. That's the way to go. Let me say hello to Peel Scent. Hey, homie. What's up? Apparently there's something going on there. Wild Turkey, 101 Wild Turkey, 2 ounces. Oh, I see. We're doing some of this stuff. Letting us know what we're drinking. There we go. Alex is holding down the fort on Twitch land. Thank you, Alex, for watching us. We're trying to keep those bots away. Yesterday there was a scare. Maybe Paul had turned into a robot. I have chatted with him since. He is, in fact, acting crazy. So hopefully he will be here. But thank you, Alex, for keeping the robots away from us on the other side. Punches. Okay. All right. Single format drinks really started to come along when we deal with cocktails, right? A cocktail, normally, a cocktail, you make one of them per person. That's how that goes. Punches, on the other hand, have been around for a lot longer and are meant to feed and drink and satiate and quell multiple people. Lots and lots of people. That's where the punch really came from. It was kind of, somewhat revolutionary to say, you know what? I'm going to make one punch for this guy. I'm going to make one punch for that guy. I'm going to make one punch for that lady. And then one punch, the 2 punches for that guy. He seems wasted. Anyway, so making a single format punch like we have been doing this entire time, kind of breaking the rules. Kind of not what we're supposed to be doing. So today we're going to be making the Point Reyes Punch, and the reason I like this punch so much, I've never had it before. I've never done it, but the reason I like it so much is because it's simple to make. I, as a bartender that everybody knows, I'm most of my friends' favorite bartender. I would hope so. So when they get the opportunity to invite me places, 2 things will happen. They will either have me bring booze, or when I get there, they will show me their, I don't want to say pitiful, but I will, pitiful collection of like half a bottle of Rose's Grenadine, like 3 bottles of Wild Turkey, and like a joint or something. I don't know, whatever they're going to show me. And they're like, hey, can you make something out of this? No, I cannot. So I like to make my drinks before I get to your house. That way, I don't have to call your bar pitiful. Anyway, we are making this one. It is very, very simple to make. And bonus, it does follow the punch conventions, if not by volume, because like we said, we're all equal parts. Did we already say that? We're saying it now. All equal parts. It might not follow the 1 of sour, 2 of sweet, 3 of strong, 4 of weak, a little spice, make it all nice, but it does have all of those things in it. And thus, we grant upon the Point Reyes Punch the designation of a real and true and godly punch. There we go. Your experience at Bar 49 was different. What? I don't know what's going on. Sorry. I don't always know what's happening in the chat. I don't know why I ever jump in the chat to see what's going on. I loved, my bar was different. Yes, that is true. I know what he's saying now. I have been to Bar 409, one of the most exclusive bars in all of Los Angeles. I did make drinks. Let me just say, I did make drinks. But I did have many drinks made for me there as well. I now see what's happening. We're there. We had more grenadine and wild. We had more than grenadine and Wild Turkey. That is also true. Yes, bar one of the best stocked bars I've ever seen. What is this? What is this? This is what we're making this punch in. It's got pineapples on it. See those pineapples? Why? Don't ask me. Because it's as my wife says, it's cute. Look how cute it is. It's so cute. But it's pineapples. There is also pineapple in here. Now, I have pre-made some pineapple syrup. All right? I will tell you how to make that. But if you want to make this right along with me, I will tell you another very easy way to make pineapple syrup. I went with the second most difficult method to make pineapple syrup. There is an easy way to do this. And that easy way is you take equal parts. Listen to this. Love an equal part. Sugar and pineapple juice. Put them together, swish them around until all that juice is gone. And you, my friend, now, at this point, have some pineapple syrup. That's the way to go. We're not doing it that way, though. We instead made pineapple simple syrup. I'll explain what we're doing. But before we get into it, let's just get into it. We are going to do everything in 750 milliliter pours. All of these are going to be 750 milliliter pours. But if you want to make it for a much larger party, you're super popular, the coolest kid in town, you can do this in 175 liter pours. Or if you want to do it as a single cocktail, also very possible. Do it in 1 ounce pours. You do you. You figure it out. You just know that every time I put something in here, it's going in as 1 part. 1 part. Cool? Cool. All right. What did I spend a lot of my day doing? Lemon. Now, this may shock you to learn that this, in this bottle, is not Martini and Rossi Bianco vermouth. We here at Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks like to upcycle. That is when we don't recycle. We take something we already have and we just fill it back up again. So while it may say that this is Martini and Rossi Bianco vermouth, it is not that. It is an awful lot of lemon juice. An awful lot of lemon juice. So this is 1 part lemon juice. And we've already measured this out. So we're just going to pour right in here. Ready? Give it a little swirl. Dougie G is asking, Martini and Rossi makes lemon juice? No. No, in fact, Dr. Cush makes lemon juice. He tried very hard to get Kyle to do his barback duties, and I've worked in bars before. I have a little expertise in this. I know for a fact that one of the barback's duties is to juice things. Kyle disagreed. We argued about it for about an hour. In the end, he said he wasn't doing it, and in the end, I needed it done. So what did I do? I waited about another hour, seeing if he would change his mind. He did not. And then I started squeezing all that stuff. Polly B, hello, Polly B. Now, Polly B may or may not have merged with Google. We are hoping that Paul is here. It sounds like someone is batching a punch for the 4th. That is exactly what we are doing. Kyle's time is valuable, says Kyle Tender. That is probably true. Bon says the 2 birds, 1 stone. That's exactly what we're doing. And Kyle Tender says he was yapping. I say it like that because Kyle Tender last night made a bunch of gnocchi. And I told him, if you eat too much gnocchi, you're going to need a nap. And I think he did. That's what happened. Okay. Lemon juice, super simple. If you want in this cocktail, obviously, if you don't want to sit around and juice lemons all day, get your what do you call these guys? Forearms, nice and big. That's not what you're interested in. You don't want those Popeye arms. That's fine. Yuck, 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 yuck. Instead, you can just buy some lemon juice. It's not the greatest thing you can do, but it's just fine. Okay. Now, this next ingredient, this guy right here, this is Martini and Rossi. This is extra dry vermouth. This is the real stuff. I know that it's confusing that the other bottle I chose to put my lemon juice in was also a Martini and Rossi vermouth. This is the real stuff. This is dry vermouth. Dry vermouth or French vermouth is made of white. The same way it's made with white wine, basically. And then what do they do with it? Well, a couple things. Usually, they will throw a little bit more booze into that, fortifying it. And they will also, and get this, stop what you're doing, put down your remote, hold on, let me tell you what they're going to do. They'll put spices in it. So, ergo, thus, we can assume that if a cocktail needs to have some spice added to it to make it into a punch, that vermouth is always at least a fine option. We're doing two things with this one, with this vermouth. We are adding weak and we are adding spice. Now, if you taste this drink, if we all collectively make this drink together and then we taste it and we say, ooh, we need more spice in there, baby. I need that spice, baby. Give me that spice. If that's your reaction, first of all, awesome. I think this is just a cool dance move. If that's your reaction, obviously find a bitters that you like, put a couple dashes of bitters in here to your liking. If you're doing it in for a punch situation, let's do it right here. If you're doing it for a punch situation, I usually like to bring a bottle of bitters, put it next to the thing, and let people put their own bitters in, thus giving them some agency and also making it so that I don't have to do anything. Concern, what is that lump on the bottom of Cush's right arm? This is called, oh, this one right here. This is called a lipoma. Can we all say lipoma? Am I terrified every time I go into the doctor's office to ask what this thing is? I am. But my doctors all assure me it is a lipoma. It's a little fatty cell. So we don't need to worry about my little arm. I have a couple of them all over me. I'm like half man, half lipoma at this point. Okay, we're gonna be putting in some of this guy. This is dry vermouth. We're putting in the weak and the spice at this point. Pour it in. Give that a little swirl. Bonbon also has lipoma. Yeah, listen, lipomas are, for those of you who've known me for a while, some of you have known me for a while. You've seen me in my skinny times. You've seen me in my much fatter times. I have a what we call a weight fluctuation life. My weight fluctuates. Apparently, when your weight fluctuates like that, sometimes your body likes to grab on to the fat. It's like, oh, we like this fat right here. Oh, can we just hold it right? Oh, we're gonna hold it right here, and one of those places is right here. I have a friend who is a doctor, and he promised me that he could take it off. He said basically what he would do was pop it. And then my stepdad who said that he used to pop them by hitting them with large books. I didn't want to do either one of those things. I think it looks kind of rock and roll. It kind of looks like I've surgically implanted some metal into my stuff. What did I say? Yes, one part. We need one part of that dry vermouth. So whatever you were doing with the other stuff, it's all one part. You don't even have to measure these things out. All one part. Nailing it. Okay. This stuff right here. This obviously, okay. This is getting ridiculous. This is obviously not Wild Turkey 101. This is an empty bottle. I have finished my Wild Turkey 101 and thus I am using this bottle again. This bottle is filled with something called pineapple syrup. Incredibly simple to make. You can make it either one of three ways, all right? The most difficult way to make pineapple syrup is to start it off as an oleo saccharum, all right? That means that you take a bunch of pineapples, cut them up a little bit, and make sure they're still pretty chunky. We're looking about the size of a lipoma is what we're looking for, about this big. And then you want to cover them with sugar and let them sit for 12 hours-ish. Let all that sugar get in there, and then the sugar will suck out all of that pineapple oil, right? That oleosaccharum, and then you add it into the simple syrup. That's one way to do it. An easier way to do it, the way that I did it, you make simple syrup, you put it on the stove, you take a bunch of pineapples, you drop them in, and you boil those things up. You simmer them. Bring it up to a boil, then bring it down to a simmer. Let that sort of simmer. That will help to bring out all of that pineapple oil as well. It'll get the essence. And then you get something that looks sort of like this. Now, this is kind of tough to see. It looks like it's just regular old, plain old stuff. But it isn't. This is pineapple stuff. Pineapple simple syrup. Now, the last way to do it, and I think probably the simplest way to do it, and the way I was going to do this until my friend called me and said they needed a cocktail, was we were just going to take pineapple juice and do equal parts pineapple juice to sugar, and then you'll also get a pineapple syrup. 3 different ways to do it. Pick your way, but anyway, you need 1 part of, not Wild Turkey 101. No, no, no. We need 1 part of pineapple syrup. Wishful says we need to get you some Goo Gone to get those labels off. Now, let me just say, Goo Gone is fine. Kyle, will you tell them what we usually use to get these labels off? We were in a hurry today. Otherwise, we would have done it. This is still very, very hot. So I think it's either baking powder or baking soda. And then a little bit of soap. Let them soak, and all the labels just float right off. Okay, grab this. Very hot, 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 hot. Whew. Pour it in. We need 1 part of pineapple syrup. Oh, let's go to this one. There we go. Give it plenty of pineapple syrup. Smelling pretty darn good at this point. The one thing we don't have in here, obviously, is party juice. I'm going to a party, and if I just brought this, my if I just brought if I just brought this, my reputation would be ended. I have a bunch of cool friends that do very cool things. I want to be amongst those cool types of people. You know, jugglers, clowns, actors. A lot of you know what? Forget the jugglers and clowns. A lot of actors. If I want to sort of hang with my thing, I got to bring the booze. That's what I add to this whole thing. We're gonna need to add some booze in here now. Claire Bear, I call her Claire Sprouse. Let me just make sure I'm getting that name right. Claire Sprouse. Claire Sprouse called for a dry white rum. I'm trying my very best to remember another time somebody asked for a dry white rum. I assume then what she means is certainly not flavored. We can't have a flavored white rum. But I assume she doesn't want any of those other like funkadelic things in there, right? So some of the funks, that kind of thing. That's what I'm assuming she doesn't want. Well, oh boy, do I have a rum for you then. Bacardi, the driest of the white rums. So dry, it is almost vodka. Grant, I said anything about dry, and then in comes Grant. He likes his rum like he likes his Wednesdays, wet. This is a wet Wednesday. We're here deep in the wet Wednesday. This is, of course, a dry rum, no doubt about it. Nobody can argue that Bacardi is not a dry rum. It certainly is. There is nothing really sweet about it, even though it is made of sugar cane. They dry it out by distilling it, and they distill it enough time so that it really doesn't taste like rum anymore. You can put whatever you like into this, right? Find yourself a rum that you like. Now, I find that these people, these are good people. I also find that these people don't really care whether or not I'm bringing that. If I put in Probitus, like my good friend Keith is saying, if I put in Probitus, obviously that would taste better for me. But I'm not going to be able to drink this whole thing. Other people are going to be drinking it, and I don't think that a lot of people care that much. I don't think that they are going to care deeply whether or not they're not going to pick up on the subtleties of the rum. So instead, we are going to bring in our friend Bacardi, which today was $2 off. I love a deal. And the deal today was $2 off. We're going to put in 1 part here. Now, instead of doing the, what's that movie with where the one guy's getting too old for this, and then Bruce Willis is in there? Whatever that movie's called. Is that Lethal Weapon? Where they're trying to figure out how to get to 4 gallons from 5 gallons and 3 gallon buckets. Either way, we don't need to do that. We already have another measuring device here. That is going to be our wild turkey bottle. We are going to pour this right in here until we get 750 milliliters, which today is 1 part. Done. Could we have Die Hard 2? Yes. Die Hard 2. Yes. What did I say? Lethal Weapon is Die Hard 2, where, of course, they, one of them, McClane maybe, where he has to fill up he has to get 4 ounces or 4 gallons, but the terrorists, I assume they're terrorists, they terrorized me at least. They only give him a 5 gallon and a 3 gallon, and he has to find out how to make 4 gallons. I never remember how he does it. It's something about pouring it out, and don't worry about it. Anyway, right at this point, even though this looks like it is a wild turkey bottle filled with what we would call the white dog or white lightning or moonshine, it is not. It is a white turkey bottle only being used to measure the 1 part of rum that we are putting in here. Go ahead and dump this in. Dump this in. Just dump it. If you guys got a second, just dump this real quick. Here we go. And we've done it. This, my friends, is the drink. I should have done. Yes, Danny Glover and Lethal Weapon did the I'm getting too old for this line. Yes, Danny Glover did that. DC David Clark never, honestly, DC David Clark, the book was better than the movie. So I think you're good. Die Hard 2 is the best one, and the first one is not a Christmas movie, says Jeremy Foote. Jeremy, it does take place at a Christmas party. You're gonna have some people that are disagreeing with you there. It might be the best Christmas movie. Okay. Anyway, this right here is the drink. However, we are missing a little bit. All right. First of all, it is warm. Not gonna burn me. Just a little warm. We need this to be cold. However, again, howevering, I'm just gonna ergo. Thus, that being said, we need to add some ice to this. We're not going to add ice to it, though, until we get to the party. And another thing, we have a choice to make. Do we want to put ice into this and have people drink it, straight into a cup? Do we want to serve this up or neat, basically? It wouldn't be neat, but just go with me on this. Do we want to serve it without ice? Do we want to tell people drink this without ice? Or do we want to have ice next to them, have them scoop a little ice, and then pour it over ice? I personally think that this is better with a responsible party, with a party where, it's a small group of people that you know very well. I would say put the ice in here. Let the ice sort of melt and keep this thing cold. That would be the way I do it, because with a responsible party, you can say, oh, hey, well, that's actually, it was only supposed to be a 4-ounce pour, not a 12-ounce pour that you just made at an irresponsible party. I don't know everybody at this party that I'm going to, and the people that I do know, I've seen them act, let's say, irresponsibly. So I think the best way is to grab a little ice on the outside, scrape it, fill it up, and go like that. Now, we are going to test this drink, obviously. We don't want to go through life without having tested this drink right here. So I did bring in a little glass. Alex's Life saying, always have side ice. Don't water down my drink. Alex, I think that's probably what a lot of people think. Now, to be fair, you do want to put some water into this drink. you do want to put some water into this drink. That's part of the week that you need. A big mistake that a lot of people make in making punches is they will say, I don't want water in my drink. I don't, it's fine. I'm a professional. I don't need water in my, I'm not a baby. I don't want water in my drink. And I understand that, line of thinking. I think that's probably right. But in punches are usually very, very alcoholic. So in some cases, you are going to want, in all cases, you're going to want some water mixed in there. And that's why we shake cocktails to add a little water to them. That's why sometimes we serve them over ice because we want a little water in them. I'm putting a lot of trust in this little handle right here. Really hope that this thing works. We're going to go ahead and pour ourselves out just a little bit of this Point Reyes Punch. See what we got. That's a proper pour. Now, what we're looking for, obviously, in this drink, we spent a lot of time. We spent most of our time on lemons. We spent a lot of time on pineapple syrup. So we want to find that pineapple syrup. Did the pineapple syrup work? If not, we will be able to fix this a little bit by adding some pineapple juice. I don't imagine that this will not be sweet enough. Let's find out. Here we go. Smells delicious. I can smell the vermouth. That's always nice. Cheers to you guys. Let's see how the Point Reyes Punch did for us. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yep. Very nice. The pineapple, let me just say, is subtle. The lemon is pretty big. I may adjust this a little bit by putting a little bit more pineapple juice into it, just to sort of bring that up. The issue always is that sometimes you have extra tart lemons. And if you have extra tart lemons, you're going to end up with an extra tart drink. This is an extra tart. It is very nice. Yeah, I think that'll work. I think, heck was that? I think this will work. Lovely cocktail. Well done to our friend Claire Sprouse. That can't be your name. Sprouse. Thank you, Claire Sprouse, for your delicious cocktail. Hopefully you guys all have a place to watch fireworks from. I know that our good friend Richie the Whiff has left America for the 4th of July. It's a big move. But hopefully the rest of you all have some place to be watching those fireworks. Bring along a little punch. Oh yeah, it's the 4th. Yes, tomorrow is the 4th, everybody, says Jeremy Foote. Hopefully you guys all have some place to be. We will not be here tomorrow. Instead, we will be watching fireworks, hopefully with our big fat batch of Point Reyes Punch. If you want to make anything like a Point Reyes Punch, may I recommend trying to put things together in this same formula, 1-1-1-1, and just find a strong booze, a vermouth, something nice and spicy. Find a spicy vermouth that you like, some citrus, and something very sweet. Try and put those all together in a 1-1-1, and you should be just fine. Let me say Happy Canada Day to our Canadian friends. I didn't. Oh, it was on the 1st. Let me say that I'm sorry that I missed Canada Day. I didn't send out my Canada Day cards, obviously, early enough. But we do have, I think there's a couple month grace period for Canada Day cards. So hopefully they'll all get there. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will not be, like I said, we will not be here tomorrow. We will be here on Saturday, making drinks, shooting the shoot. And oh, thank you, Jeremy. Jeremy says it's all good. I do feel bad that I missed Canada Day on the 1st, but we'll make it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will be back here on Saturday to hang out, make drinks, and learn all the things. Until then, what do we always say? We always say, let's see, what should we say? Oh, this is what we say.
This is the way we talk in Tucson, Arizona.
It's the only real patriotic thing I have in here. Is that true? Do I have anything else patriotic on here? Songs. I have the Oscar theme song. It's probably not patriotic enough. I have, oh, you know what? I have a couple presidents saying things. Let me say, 1 second. I think, is that under answers? Yes. Here's one president saying something.
We don't know in this country. We don't know.
And then I have another president saying something.
I know.
That's Barack. Oh, we have a future president saying something.
But that's not what we're talking about.
That's Dr. Phil. I assume that Dr. Phil will eventually run for office. And, oh, and we have a guy that we should have had be the president. I think he would have done good asking the important questions.
Are you Dr. Jinga Janga?
If Pee-wee had become president, we would have found out who Dr. Jinga Janga is. From the most quintessential American to have ever existed in any form, let him finish this off.
Goodbye.
It's Homer Simpson. As always, guys, we will see you on Saturday. As Homer says,
goodbye.
Goodbye.
When did you discover that you were so beautiful? Could you wire me a bus ticket? I'll pay you back, honest.
To alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems. I started last.
Okay.
Today's secret word is...
What? Okay. Well, my mistake. How are you today? Goodbye.